You know, I get to do a lot of really fun things as an arborist and a horticulturalist, but maybe there's nothing I enjoy more than coming down here to the springs, getting to see how things evolve from season to season and share it with you. And this right here is just a panorama of the change of season, of fall coming in and even starting to move out a little bit, but the hanger-on from summer. We've got beautiful color in the wash right here. Off in the distance, I can see the red leaves of the Chinese pistache, and there, bobbing back and forth in the wind, is a yellow bells, a wonderful plant. We'll go take a look at it, but that thing blooms like 8 months of the year, and what a color show. The neat thing about this garden, about any garden, about your garden, is that it's an exploration. It brings nature into our homes and it gives us a chance to see what's going on as seasons move in and out, as nature unfolds in front of your eyes. And what I love about the Springs Preserve, with all the species that they have here, is you can see so many different things going on at so many different times of the year. And this is a great place to explore just for fun. But it's also a great place to learn, to see what you like, what appeals to your taste, so you can take those experiences and bring them into your own garden and have that sense of exploration and discovery as part of your life every day. Seasons come and seasons go, and the garden evolves with it, but there are certain standby plants that can give you a flower show almost any time of year, and there is nothing that fills that role better maybe than the ubiquitous Texas Rangers, which are actually a very large group of plants. Some have very gray foliage, some much more green, some get 6, 7 feet, some only grow to 3 feet, so find the right size Texas Ranger, and then when the rains come, be prepared for some spectacular flower shows. But there's some really cool plants here that, depending on what time of year you come, you will experience all sorts of wonderful, awesome, interesting stuff. This is a Eucalyptus sideroxian. I think the common name is pink ironbark, and we just happen to catch it when it's in full bloom. It's not a long flower show. What it's doing, these beautiful little pink flowers, are these extended stamens coming out around the pistil, fuzzy like a bottle brush. So right here in front of me, I can see the whole evolution of the flower show of this tree, and it's really cool. Here's a bud with the floral cap still on. Right next to it, the floral caps come off, and those stamens are still folded up, waiting to unfold. Here, just right next to it, is the flower open, and you can see that these are indeed stamens because there's that little speck of gold on the tip, the pollen there, surrounding the pistil in the center. And then, if you come over just a little bit, you've got the floral cup getting ready to fall off. These are dried, and then all that's left is that pistil sticking boldly out of the plant. It's almost Dr. Seussian, I guess. It's just really cool looking. You know, you want a garden that looks beautiful all year, and flowers are one way to do it. And there are some species that will bloom right through winter. But I think the real key to having a garden look good throughout the year is to play with texture and color of foliage and form of plant. And I don't know of any place in the garden perhaps that shows it even better than this, just this little nook right here. I mean, the plants right here are so expressive of texture and color and form. This is Agave perii, a tough, very desert-adapted plant. Beautiful, bold foliage, fabulous form. Look at those black spikes with just a little bit of a curve to them. And then right next to it, one of the opuntias with this beautiful, is that seafoam green? No, it's blue as the light hits it just right. I don't know exactly what color that is, but it's gorgeous. And you can see even those two blues contrast against one another really beautifully. Right next to it, we have this big, bold yucca, who you can see her leaves are slowly dying off and then form the skirt. Now, some would look at this and think it quite ugly. I don't. It's just part of the nature. It's a beautiful color. It shows a lot of age and character. And then in the middle of all this, okay, I gotta admit, this is my favorite little desert perennial. This is golden disodia. Soft, I bet you it didn't get planted in there. This little plant will seed itself. Just bring 1 or 2 into your garden, be forewarned, if you go shopping for them, if you find them in the nursery, they look awful. But get them in the ground, they take right off. They will live 2 or 3 years, reseed themselves, pop up here and there. They stay small, so they're never really weedy. You can see this one has just tucked herself right in and adds a splash of color and softness and a whole different form into the garden. If that wasn't enough, well, it smells really good. So you just take that foliage up, wonderful herbal fragrance, and it will bloom up to 12 months of the year. So it's another trip around the gardens at the Springs Preserve, and we finish up kind of where we started. This is the yellow bells that we saw off in the distance. Beautiful, rich fragrance, and look at that color. Beautiful yellow with red stripes going down into the throat of the flower. Now this will bloom 7 months of the year, maybe 8 months. It loves warm weather. So in another week, these might not be here anymore. In fact, this whole plant will freeze back into a bunch of ungainly sticks. And so it's really important when you consider a plant like this, where you put it in the garden, realize that for about 4 months of the year, it's not going to look good. But in exchange for that, you get this rich green foliage, a really tough plant that'll come back every year and give you loads of flowers in the spring, through the summer without skipping a beat, on late into the fall. So come join me at the Springs Preserve on this really wonderful little journey of exploration and discovery. Flowers, form, texture, fragrance. What more could you ask for?